Hello and welcome back. So in this video, we'll be implementing the pagination part, but for now, let me just decrease the limit. So for that, I'm going to create a variable called as limit or use state called as limit use state, and I'm going to put this thing as 20 because I think 20 is a good number, and plus limit. All right. So now if I go to the Pokemon API, I can also find offset over here. I'll speak about offset in a moment, but for now, offset is nothing but, when you are at page number 1. So let me just open up Paint and show you what I mean. So basically, when you are at page number 1, the data that we are seeing is, what is the limit? Limit is 20. So the data that we are seeing is 20. All right. So now if I go to page number 2, then the data that I should be seeing would be from 20 to 40. So the offset over here is 20. So if I go to page number 3, I should be seeing the data 40 to 60. So that is how we have to calculate the offset. So we know that when we are at the page number 1, so the offset would be 20 because we'd be seeing the data as 20, right? So yeah, no, basically it's like this. When we are at page number 1, the offset would be 0. All right. When we are at page number 2, the offset would be 20, perhaps, yeah, 20, because the offset is this thing. Let me just remove off everything and write it again. All right. So when we are at page number 1, the offset is 0. That means the data is starting from 0 to 20. All right. So when we are at page number 2, the offset would be 20 to 40. Okay. And when we are at page number 3, the offset would be 3 into the offset, that is 40 to 60. So this formula is very easy over here. So what we have to do, basically we have to get the page number that we are currently at, okay, multiplied by, so if it is 1, make it as 0, and if the page number is like more than 1, then we would multiply the limit into the page number. So if the limit is like 20, and if we are at the page number 2, so it would be 40. So it would work something like this: 40 minus the limit again, so that we would get the limit as 20. You'll see how it works. But for now, look at it something like this. So we are skipping the data and then we are moving forward. So now I'll also create an offset, offset, and I'm gonna create the offset as, for now I'm gonna put it as 0. Okay, I'm gonna write plus over here, and I'm gonna write offset. Okay, let me just quickly wrap this up inside flower brackets. Okay, let me just remove the flower brackets and let me see. Yeah, now this is fine. We don't need the flower brackets. All right. So now what we will be doing is that the offset is 0, right? So now let me just make the offset as, so now we are seeing the 20 data. The very first thing is Bulbasaur, right? Now let us see what happens if I make this thing 20. So now we are seeing the data that comes after 20, that is 20 to 40. Similarly, we would increase this part and like increase the values. So for this thing, we will need a page number. All right. So the page number that we will be having is, let me just quickly write page, set page, use state, and make it 0. All right. I'll speak about the calculation of the limit in a moment when we are implementing it, because there are like n number of ways to calculate that thing. Like I said, we can minus or perhaps just multiply. We'll just see that. All right. So now right over here, I'm gonna create a button which would say next. Two buttons, right? And I'm gonna basically wrap them up inside a div, and I will be basically making the class name as the flex justify content center. That would add the display flex and justify content center. I'm gonna write previous rev, and I'm gonna write next, and right over here I'm gonna put a paragraph which would say the page. Okay, so let me just go down. As you can see, we have two buttons and all. So now we'll basically write an on click method to it. All right, and I'm gonna write if, I'm gonna check if page is equals to 0, then return, which should not do anything, else set page plus 1, page minus 1. All right, so that is how it would work. Similarly, I'm going to copy the same part on this on click method and write if yeah, I don't need to check anything over here. We'll come to that, but for now I'm just gonna write set page plus 1, right? So now if I do this thing, the page would change. So now whenever the page is changing, let me remove this thing, and whenever the page is changing, we need to calculate the offset. So calculating the offset is very, very simple. So now we need to write, okay, let new offset, okay, new offset, let me span the whole screen so that you guys can see everything. New offset is equal to limit multiplied by page number. Right, for now the page is like 0. All right, so limit multiplied by page number. I'm gonna write console log and let us see what is the new offset that we are getting. Okay, yeah, new offset. So let me press reload and let me open up inspect this thing. So for now we are getting this thing as 0. Let me, yeah, and press next. So we are getting this as 20. Now if I press next, we are getting this offset as 40. So if we are at this thing, we are getting the offset as 60. All right, so now we would basically pass in the offset, I mean like pass in the offset. All right, set the offset, set offset, new offset. Now you can see how it works. So now I'm gonna reload the page. I'm gonna write next. So I should be able to, so basically it works in this way. So as you can see, the value is 1, right? But it doesn't change. I'm changing the value. It should change the offset and it should, this thing should run again. No, it doesn't, because it is an empty dependency over here. This will only run when our application is rebooting for the first time. I mean, that means our component is loading for the very first time. That is when this code will run. So what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to copy this whole thing, or what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write page over here. All right, not page, I'm going to write offset. So whenever we are setting up the offset, okay, so whenever we are setting the offset, we will be basically passing in the, I mean like whenever we are setting the offset over here, this line of code will automatically run and it will automatically fetch the data. So now as you can see, it is fetching the data. Let me go to page number 1, Sparrow, and page number 2, the data is changing. Let me just decrease the limit. Let me just make it as 5 or 6. Okay, so now if I just go to the next one, that is showing as Squirtle, and it's fetching the data basically. I just want to check if this is working or not, so that is why I'm going to change the limit as 20, and I'll see this 7 is Squirtle, right? So if I write 5, I should get this data, and if I go to the next page, I should get this data. I should get Charizard, Squirtle, and Water. So let me just make this thing as 5 and reload the page. I don't need to reload the page. Press next. I'm getting Charizard, Squirtle, Water Turtle. Yeah, this is working. That means pagination is working very fine. But now usually you won't see the 0 in websites over here. When we are seeing the pagination, we won't see a 0 over here. So for that, it's very simple to do it. I'm just going to write +1. That will automatically fix that thing. It's a very easy way of changing the value. Okay, so that is how this pagination works. That is how it is working fine. So one more error that we will be seeing over here. So suppose our limit is like 150, all right, and the total number of data that we are having is 1118, right? So let me open up a calculator real quick. So the total number of data is 1118, and the pages that we will be having is something like this divided by 150, because that is the limit, right? Okay, so we would be having total number of 8 pages. Just round it up to 8 pages. So now we have to basically calculate if the page number is the page number that on the next side. So let me just show you. On the next side, whenever it's like, we have to write an algorithm so that our page number won't move forward more than 8 pages. So in order to fix it, we just need to write an algorithm, which I'll show you right now, right over here. So basically need to calculate maximum page number limit, max page. So we need to use the same formula, and I'm gonna write count. Okay, count divided by limit. Okay, so and after this I'm gonna write, so basically I'm gonna write if page is greater than, page should be basically less than math dot seal, which will basically make this thing as 8. If you are writing math dot floor, it will make this thing as 7. Math dot seal max page. But before that, I'm just gonna write console log over here and write max page. Okay, and remove this if condition. Okay, and yeah, let me press F12, open the console log, press next. We're getting 7.44, and yeah, I'm gonna write math.seal over here. Okay, I'm missing one more bracket, so I'm gonna write next. We're getting this thing as 8, right? So now we just need to bring back this if condition. So we need to basically check if this is less than that, only then it should change. Otherwise it's going to alert the user maximum page limit reached. Move next, right? We should be getting this data, and now we should be basically not able to move forward, but we are. It shouldn't allow us to do that. So yeah, so basically what we need to do over here is that maybe make this thing as max page limit -1. All right. Okay. If I write 8, so maximum page limit has been reached. That is how this works. That is how pagination works. It is a very important skill, guys. Trust me, if you're working as a React.js developer or any, let it be JavaScript developer, suppose if you are a front-end developer itself, then you should know how to implement pagination with the backend. All right. So that is how pagination works. So that's it for this video, guys. This is a very long video that we recorded, and I hope that you have learned a lot of things from this particular video. So see you all guys in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.